What's up everyone, I'm Dan and welcome to Press Start on Dan's Distillery. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with reviews like these and more. Hit the like button if you like the review. Big shout out to Future Friends Games for the review copy for Laysara Summit Kingdom on the Nintendo Switch systems. This review was done using the Nintendo Switch 2. Laysara Summit Kingdom is one of those city builders that quietly sneaks up on you. At first glance it looks serene, even gentle, painterly mountains, fluffy yaks, soft colour palettes and an enchanting Eastern inspired backdrop. But beneath that calm exterior lies a tightly wound, highly strategic experience that's all about efficiency, space management and survival against the elements. The very first thing I noticed before I placed a single building was the music from the title screen and beyond. It's genuinely superb, bringing you into this world. The soundtrack carries this culturally rich, melodic quality that feels completely in tune with the mountain setting. It's calming, earworm worthy, and sets the tone perfectly for what is ultimately a thoughtful and methodical game. And that calmness is important because Laysara is pure city building. There's no combat here, no armies, no invaders, just economy, resource change, logistics, and the ever-present threat of avalanches. The premise is simple but compelling. A mysterious fog has driven your people from the lowlands, forcing them into the mountains. Your task: establish new settlements across multiple peaks and ultimately construct a summit temple, a monastery that stands as a symbol of triumph at the very top. The campaign is broken up into missions, each one set on a unique mountain with different shapes, resource layouts and weather conditions. As you progress upwards, the complexity increases. Early settlements feel manageable. Later on, you're juggling villages, connecting through intricate trade routes, revisiting previous mountains to expand or rebalance them. Outside of the campaign, there's a wealth of modes to dive into: scenario mode with specific objectives, sandbox, free build, challenge modes. There's already a lot of content here, 7 distinct mountains alone, and that flexibility means you can tailor the experience to how relaxed or punishing you want it to be. What makes Laysara truly unique is its verticality. The mountain is divided into elevation tiers: lush green lower slopes, yellow mid-levels and barren upper reaches. These tiers aren't just cosmetic, they directly impact production. Take the yak shack for example, place it low down in fertile land and you'll get plenty of milk. Place it higher up and milk production drops but wool output increases. Industry placement isn't just about proximity, it's about altitude strategy. Layered on top of that are 3 social classes: workers, artisans and monks. Each class has its own needs and preferred placement. Workers tend to occupy lower elevations with farms and basic housing. Artisans prefer mid-level areas with workshops and cultural buildings. Monks reside near the summit, often requiring isolation and even enclosed sanctuaries. It creates a fascinating balancing act. Space is extremely limited. Every flat plateau on the mountain feels precious. The game forces you to think in tight, efficient layouts, sometimes even relocating entire production chains when you run out of room. Supply chains are complex enough to be engaging without becoming overwhelming. This isn't a numbers per minute factory sim, but it does require careful balancing. Distribution centers allow local balancing of goods before feeding into wider networks that span the mountain. Roads, bridges and vertical shafts become lifelines for your carriers, and yes, even yaks play a major role in transport too. Generally, the game explains its systems well. The tutorial is robust and easy to follow, making the mechanics approachable even when the concepts themselves are quite layered. When something goes wrong, like a negative resource balance, the UI does a good job of directing you to the problem area. That said, the controls can feel a little fiddly at first, especially on console. There's no mouse controls or touchscreen support, and I do wish there was a dedicated Switch 2 version to take advantage of those features and the system's power. It runs at 30 frames per second, and while there are graphic options like shadow quality, anti-aliasing and cliff foliage density, the control scheme occasionally feels like it's compensating for a PC first design. You do get used to it, but there is an adjustment period. I also wish there were easy ways to reposition structures once you've built them. Nature isn't passive here. Avalanches are a constant threat. You can't stop them outright, but you can mitigate them. Plant forests to slow snow buildup, construct expensive avalanche breakers to shield critical infrastructure. In later missions, avalanches increase in intensity, forcing you to layer defenses. It's a brilliant mechanic because it eats into your already limited space. Every decision feels weighty. Weather breakdowns can also impact morale, triggering special quests to stabilize your population. Money can quickly spiral if disaster strikes at the wrong moment. Despite its complexity, I rarely felt stressed. The pacing, music and thoughtful design gives the whole experience a calming rhythm. It's methodical rather than frantic. Even when reworking supply chains or correcting imbalances, there's a quiet satisfaction to it. Saying that, however, the game can feel a bit rigid in places. Some buildings must sit within a certain range of others. Elevation rules apply. Sometimes it feels like you're doing the right thing, but the game simply won't allow you to do it. That rigidity is part of the design philosophy. Limited space creates meaningful decisions, but it can occasionally frustrate. Visually, the art style is charming and distinct. The mountains that have a storybook quality and the little character animations, especially the yaks, add personality. Voice acting appears in certain cutscenes and story moments, giving flavour to the expeditionary narrative as you push ever higher. The UI is generally clean and the colour-coded class system helps readability. For such a mechanically dense game, it's surprisingly approachable. Laysara Summit Kingdom is a very specific type of city builder. It's about efficiency over sprawl, vertical problem solving over horizontal expansion, and resilience over conquest. The limited space is the beating heart of the experience. It forces creativity and long-term thinking. If you enjoy colony management games that test your logistical brain without overwhelming you with micromanagement spreadsheets, this is absolutely worth your time. It's calming, clever, and packed with content already. It also feels different enough from games like Citadellum, so if you are a fan of these types of games, having both of them in your library is probably worth it. Laysara Summit Kingdom is out now on the Nintendo eShop, priced at $22.49 in the UK and $25 in the US. Hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know if you've played this one in the comments below, and until next time.